Hey guys, it's Headless. This is like my second take or third take of this video. Um, Basically, what I'm just gonna show is basically how where I started from with kind of like database development and website development, um, and how I incorporate it with Roblox, and basically show you like back then of how you can improve on things if you just keep making them or making things in general. But so I usually have multiple generations, or you can call them evolutions, versions, whatever, of a database system. I'm going to refer to this as database, we'll say version one. This was just a Trello, and it just had their IDs in here. And I wish I could give the credit to whoever made a Trello module on Roblox that allowed us to get these. But that was basically the system. It was just on Roblox. It was fetching these, and it would search if the player is in the game and it has that ID, it would ban them. This ban system originally, I believe, started. I think it was in Fairy Tale Online Fighting. Regardless of where it started, the ban database system has been in the games Fairy Tale Online Fighting. It's been in One Piece Golden Age. It's been in Arcane Adventures. It's an adventure story. It's been in a majority in every single game made by pretty much VTEX games up after like One Piece Golden Age. I don't remember if it was Fairy Tale Online Fighting first or One Piece Golden Age, but either or, both of them had it. But it was pretty simple. It was like this. And we got to the point where we had so many IDs in here that when we did a fetch for it, all of them were not showing up in there anymore. You could have said, okay, we could just add in another list and add them there and fetch this and then fetch this. But I don't think that was efficient. And at this time, I was also learning a database called MySQL. And that pretty much brings me to version 2 of when I created my first website. This was the first ever website I created, pretty much, that had admins using it. I'm going to explain here real quick. This was made in just PHP. There was really not that much JavaScript, to be honest. There was barely any CSS, and no libraries, or everything was made from scratch. So pretty much you have the user ID. There's a description. At the time, I was thinking that, I was kind of naive in ways of thinking of like, oh, how much data can a database store? Like, how much does it take up? Oh, if I only have like 20 gigs, I'm going to take that up really quickly. Which is not the case whatsoever. You can store lots of data before you even take up a gig. That's why we hear description was damage. You can change it. It was saving as the number, so 0 to 10. But to them, they could see it was like damage and stuff. It was just a way to become more efficient. And then down here, it was Y, like disrespect, auto keying, glitch, and exploit. And then you can have a temporary ban for X days. And then there's a add, remove, a search, and there's a get all bans. And then generally up here is what would show you what happened. Now also, it's good to know that whenever you clicked these buttons, it would either PHP would run and probably would reload the page with these in it. And that's why I really just get disgusted with PHP. I just don't like the language. But if we keep going, you can see all of those skill points, inventory, and all that stuff. And we could see that if he gets all bans, all of them are there. It has a date, user ID, reason, description, unban date, and so on and so on and so on. And that's pretty much version 2. This was the first ever one I created, so I was pretty happy. But then down the road, I learned more about CSS. I learned more about JavaScript, I learned about something called I believe it's called Ajax. I believe it's called Ajax. Yeah. Where basically what it is you send fetches in the JavaScript so you don't have to reload the page, unlike with PHP. You had to reload pages to do some pretty nifty stuff. But with JavaScript, instead of reloading a page, you would just send a fetch, get the data, and then just like use JavaScript to show the data on the screen. That's where we go to version 3. This is version 3. Basically, this incorporated Ajax. I don't know if I'm saying Ajax correctly, and I'm not bothered, or if that's a correct term. Oh, that's funny. You could see all the usernames for the old database, but he types in the password, and then this pretty much was it. It was ban logs, and you could add, you can edit. It shows perma ends, who it is enforced, and if you press details on the right, it would pop up saying like, see here. So if he pressed one of them, it would show all this, and you could press submit to edit it, and whatnot. Or you could, or see, the issue with this is only for editing, but if you wanted to add somebody, you would have to press the add button there. Or if you wanted to edit somebody, you had to press the edit button, if it's not in this list. Generally, that's really bad, since you have to go to separate things to do the same thing. Even like you have to do the same. It just does the same thing. Look. Oh, and also, this was the first time as well, I believe, that I incorporated Discord with this, so that it shows. Actually, this isn't the first time. It was. But anyways, it shows every time an admin bans somebody, it gets sent to the Discord server. And that's pretty much this version. This version had way more stuff. Just in this video, you can't see it. This had tickets, which we never really used. The tickets was for the Discord server, but it ended up being a flop. But this is where we move on to the current version. Version 4. Now, if I refresh, you'll see that's the login page right here. When I refresh, it already knows that I was logged in, so it relogs me in. But if you press submit, this would happen and everything loads in. Now, what I really enjoyed this because I'll tell you everything I'm using. I'm no longer using PHP. PHP is gone. I'm using Node.js. I'm using a library for CSS called Bulma.io. I'm using, what else am I using? I'm using Socket.io for sockets, WebSockets. I'm using Express for the server. And that's pretty much all the the stuff. And a lot of this, if I press feed is not working because I never scripted this to work, so it's just for viewing right now. But panel is where everything's happening. So basically, you can type in a username or you can type in a user ID. If I type in 1, it says found database match, and everything gets updated here with that ID. So 1, it says found database match, meaning it's in my database. It's not banned. It has no temporary ban, and there's no reason. What if I do 2? It says not in the database. What if I do vtext games? See, it converts it to an ID. It'll say valid username, but it has no matches. Okay. Generally, we can keep trying to find something. So if I do 1, I do test, and I do submit. Let's do enforce. Submit.